I don't know. Bring on the next guy. I don't know what that is.
Rodney Dangerfield walked onto the Tonight Show stage with Johnny Carson and turned that NBC studio in Burbank into pure pandemonium.
The next day, I usually wake up in some strange place with a kid with an accent playing with my feet.
If you grew up watching Carson at 11:30, get comfortable because this is going to take you right back. Number 1. The Halloween Experience. Our first joke is from the summer of 1974, when Rodney was 52 years old. His comedy club Dangerfield's on First Avenue in Manhattan had been packing them in for almost 5 years. Walking out, tugging at that red tie, he dives straight into a childhood bit. The first joke lands on Halloween when he was 8 years old. The setup involves his father, and a particular costume the old man put him in.
I was 8 years old on Halloween once. My old man, he dressed me up. He set me out as the Pied Pipe, you know?
Yeah.
In 2 hours, every rat in the neighborhood was following me.
The whole bit plays on Rodney's running theme, which is that the universe itself is in on the joke against him, and the audience is howling before he even reaches the finish. Number 2. Dog versus Guy. The second bit is also from that same night of July 3rd, 1974. This bit takes on dating. Rodney compares the romantic struggles of being a guy, the dinners and everything, to the much more efficient social life of a dog.
Yes,
I mean, a guy meets a girl, he's not sure if he likes her. A guy takes her out, he'll take her out a few times, spend all kinds of money on her, ask her all kinds of questions, you know. That's where a dog is lucky, you know. A dog is smart. You know, a dog meets another dog, you don't have to go through all that. He's out with one smell. She's for me. That's it, you know.
It's vintage observational Rodney, and Carson follows it up by asking if Rodney loves dogs. The answer he gives is exactly what you'd hope for.
And you know, I love dogs.
You love dogs,
I love dogs.
I didn't know that.
I love dogs.
Yeah.
Dogs have I work with some great dog acts. Great dog acts, Johnny.
Number 3. Rodney makes Johnny fall out of his chair. Jumping ahead to January 31st, 1978, this appearance is so legendary that the official Carson archives titled the clip, and I'm quoting here, "Rodney Dangerfield almost makes Carson fall out of his chair, laughing." Rodney was 56 at this point, 2 years away from Caddyshack, and the previous year he had given the keynote at Harvard's class day. On this Tuesday night, he settles onto Carson's couch and launches into his self-described struggles with hard drinking. The joke covers what he has to do every single morning after a rough night out, and there are these 2 specific tasks.
And I don't want to drink because I'm a bad drinker, I'll tell you that, Johnny. When I drink the next day, I got to do 2 things. I got to try and locate my car, and I got to bring back the car I took. I mean, I'm a bad drinker. Remember that one? Yeah, sure.
Of course I do.
Of course you do. I knew a lot of my bet.
By the time he reaches the second task, Carson physically doubles over, props his leg up on the desk, and tilts back so far it looks like the chair might tip. And what Rodney quips only makes Johnny lose it harder.
I don't know. Bring on the next guy. I don't know what that
Number 4. The Hamburger Book. The same night, Rodney pivots to a bit about a friend of his, a fictional recurring character named Dr. Billy Boombox, who has supposedly written a new book all about hamburgers. This joke lives in the title of the book, a play on a fast food advertising slogan everybody in 1978 knew by heart.
Dr. Vinny Boombox.
I was going to ask you about him. I thought his name
He's
would
doing
come up.
fine, doing fine. He's glad you brought it up, too.
Yeah.
He's doing fine, you know. Doing fine. He's busy. Now, his new book just came out.
He has a new book?
Big book.
He's
All about
busy.
hamburgers.
About hamburgers?
Hamburgers, yeah. The book's entitled, She Was in Love with a Quarter Pounder Until She Tried the Whopper. It's a very good.
Carson chuckles and leans forward, and you can watch him processing the absurdity. Classic Rodney, taking something completely ordinary and twisting it into something a little blue without ever actually saying anything blue. Number 5. The Bad Drinker Joke. A little over a year later came May 30th, 1979. Rodney was in the middle of what biographer Chris Nashawati later described as an incredible run on The Tonight Show, reducing Johnny Carson to tears almost every time. He opens with another drinking joke, but a different one. This one lands on what happens to him the morning after, where he wakes up and who exactly is there when he opens his eyes.
I drink, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The next day, I usually wake up in some strange place with a kid with an accent playing with my feet.
The detail Rodney picks is so specific and so unexpected that the whole studio erupts. Number 6. The daughter's pregnancy. From that previous joke, he transitions into a bit about his daughter. The premise, in his own words, is that she got pregnant from eating chicken, and the kicker is a slogan from another fast food chain.
I got all kinds of problems, Johnny. My daughter got pregnant from eating chicken. Yeah, it was finger-licking good, and one thing led to another.
Vintage Rodney brand name comedy again. The kind of joke that lodges in your head and never leaves. Carson and the audience are completely gone. Number 7. The Self-Deprecating Bit. 2 months later, on August 1st, 1979, Rodney delivers what may be the most famous Tonight Show appearance of his entire career. The Washington Post wrote about this very segment, reporting that it marked Rodney's 61st Carson appearance, 61st, and that during the show, Johnny fell off his 4-coaster chair and nearly plunged into the sleepy lagoon painted on the wall behind his desk. That is a direct quote from the Post. 2 jokes from this night are worth highlighting. The first centers on being snatched as a kid, and the setup involves Rodney's absent vaudeville father receiving a piece of evidence. The kicker is what the father said in response. So dry, so cold that it captures the entire essence of the no-respect persona in a single line.
My old man, he didn't help either. The time I was kidnapped, they sent back a piece of my finger. He said he wanted more proof.
Number 8. The joke that made Carson laugh hysterically. Then comes the joke that made Johnny actually stand up. It's from that same night. Rodney pivots to the topic of his romantic preferences at his current age, explaining with complete deadpan seriousness exactly what he wants and why.
I know I'm getting old. At my age, I want 2 girls at once, you know. Yeah, if I fall asleep, they got each other to talk to.
The reasoning is the joke. Once he lands it, Johnny throws his head back and bursts out laughing. Rodney simply turns to the next guest, and what he asks makes Johnny get up out of his chair and literally walk away from his own desk because he cannot compose himself.
What's new with you?
I assume you're through.
Number 9. The Skydiving Joke. February 6th, 1980. Rodney was 58 years old, and Caddyshack, his role as Al Chervik, the part he earned only $35,000 to play, sat exactly 5 months and 19 days from premiering. He had no idea yet that his life was about to change forever. Opening with a skydiving joke, the setup rests on his wife buying him a parachute, and the detail lives in what kind of parachute she chose.
My wife, she drives me nuts. I took up skydiving. She bought me a parachute that opens on impact.
That kind of dark, absurd, throwaway one-liner became Rodney's signature. Number 10. The Tough Show Business. Later in the same set, the spotlight turns on Carson himself. Rodney starts musing about all the struggle that he had to face to make it in show business.
You know, Johnny, sometimes I think back of all the women I had to sleep with to get where I got, you know?
That's when he suddenly looks at Johnny and rags on him about his position in show business. Affectionate, roasty, and it lands perfectly. This was the Rodney Carson dynamic at its absolute peak.
Tough business, you kidding? Well, look at you, Johnny. All the years you've been in show business, right? Ended up with a desk job. I mean, you know... I don't know what else to say.
Number 11. The Dog Story. Next, we jump to the episode from the year 1983, when Rodney was 61 or 62. Easy Money, the film he co-wrote, reached theaters August 19th of that year, and by December, his single Rappin Rodney would become one of the first rap songs ever to chart on the Billboard Hot 100. He was no longer just a comedian, he had become a cultural force. The first 1983 bit concerns his pet. Rodney explains he's got a dumb dog, but the name of that dog and the reason for it is the punchline.
I mean, my house, I can't relax. Really? I got a dog, he drives me nuts. I got a dumb dog, you know, we call him Egypt. Every room he leaves a pyramid.
Carson loses it while the audience claps and roars. Number 12. The Smart Kid Joke. The second bit turns to his kids. Rodney calls them smart kids, good kids, and then describes a moment where he tells one of them something philosophical, but the child's response is the entire joke.
My kids, they don't help either. You
no
know?
good, huh?
Ooh, no, my kids, they're real smart kids I got, you know.
Yeah.
But the other day I told my kid, I said, someday you'll have children of your own. He said, so will you.
One sentence, brutal, and it ranks as one of the great single-line zingers in the whole Carson archive. Number 13. Rodney has trust issues. Now we reach the end. Rodney's last appearance on Johnny Carson. April 15th, 1992. Johnny Carson had announced his retirement, with his final Tonight Show just 5 weeks away on May 22nd, and Rodney Dangerfield, now 70 years old, walks on one last time to say goodbye to Johnny, who had given him a national platform for over 2 decades. The episode also featured Beau Bridges and Bernadette Peters. But the moment everyone remembers is Rodney on that couch. 2 jokes from this night fit perfectly into the rest of his catalog, while feeling especially poignant given the context. The first covers how hard it is for a guy like him to find a woman he can trust. Rodney tells the story of one girlfriend in particular, and what the unexpected secondary consequence of her leaving turned out to be.
It's tough to find a woman, Johnny. It's tough,
huh?
you know?
Yeah.
Gotta get a woman you can trust. Trust is the whole thing.
You betcha.
I was going one girl for a while. I trusted her. She let me down.
Oh?
Now, what happened was, you know, she ran away with my best friend.
Oh.
Now I got no dog.
This was a layered Rodney special. The kind where the real kicker is something nobody in the audience could have seen coming. Number 14. Rodney Dangerfield is lonely. This joke is from the last appearance as well. It takes on how lonely he is. He opens by saying he is so lonely that you have no idea, and then tells the punchline, which was too funny.
So if I'm lonely, you have
Lonely
no
guy,
idea.
huh?
Oh, you have no idea how lonely I am. How lonely? I'm so lonely. The other day in traffic, a guy gave me the finger, and I enjoyed it.
Rodney Dangerfield was no overnight star, and he had already lived 45 years before America really knew his name. Born Jacob Cohen on Long Island in November of 1921, he wrote his first jokes at 15 and performed in the Catskills under the stage name Jack Roy before quitting comedy entirely. The way he liked to put it, "I was the only one who knew I quit." For nearly 10 years, he sold paint and aluminum siding in New Jersey while raising 2 kids. And when he finally returned to stand-up in his early 40s, a Manhattan club owner named George McFadden handed him the stage name Rodney Dangerfield. Ed Sullivan booked him in March of 1967, and by the early 70s he had become Johnny Carson's recurring guest. Across more than 70 appearances, Rodney Dangerfield in the rumpled white shirt and the red tie didn't just tell jokes. He reduced Johnny Carson to tears again and again, sometimes literally knocking him off his chair. Rodney passed in October of 2004 at the age of 82, and his headstone at Westwood Memorial Park reads, fittingly, "There goes the neighborhood." His widow Joan founded the Rodney Dangerfield Institute at Los Angeles City College to teach the next generation of comedians the craft he had spent 6 decades perfecting. The comedy club on First Avenue closed in 2020 and reopened in January of 2024. None of that ever quite captures what those Tonight Show appearances felt like in the moment. If you like Johnny Carson and Rodney Dangerfield, make sure you subscribe for more videos just like this.